Hi guys, hi, I'm back. I am back. I have taken a long break from YouTube. I apologize if you sent me comments and messages over the years and I did not respond. I am truly sorry. I am just now reading a lot of my comments. I'm just now reading a lot of the messages. A lot has happened over the years, so it's been quite a journey. Most of you are following me because either you were considering going to medical school in the Caribbean, or you are currently in medical school in the Caribbean, or whatever it may be. Or maybe you're just following because you like me, I don't know, or you met me before, or something like that. But in regards to those specifically that are following for, to kind of follow through with my medical school journey, couple things have changed and I will update you. That's why I'm making this video. So the one thing, like you guys know, I have a background. I'm a registered nurse. So before I went into medical school, I had worked as a registered nurse for a couple years, and I still worked as a registered nurse while I was in medical school. You know, when I was on break, when I would come home to the US, I would work, pick up shifts and just work. And I used that as well as other means to pay through medical school. So, little updates. So I went to medical school in 2016. I finished the program. Specifically, I went to St. James School of Medicine. I was in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I did I think it was like a year program or a couple months short program. And then we finished the 5th semester on campus. Specifically, I think we all came into Chicago, Illinois. We finished that semester. We did some rotations. I wouldn't call it like your clinical rotations, but just some like practice rotations, if that makes sense. And then we did really, that semester was a time for us to prep and focus hard on passing your final MBME and also preparing you for step 1. So that process took me a lot longer than I expected. So for those of you who have a medical background, who are thinking to yourself, oh, I'm a nurse, you know, medical school is probably going to be a breeze for me. Okay. I wouldn't say it was easier, right? A lot of the medical terminology, a lot of the disease processes, everything was a lot more familiar with me because I worked as a nurse and you're exposed to that. Writing doctor's note, you read a lot of doctor's note, you know, just different things. It does help to have that medical background before you enter into going into medical school. Of course, it's not required, but it does help greatly to have that medical experience, that hands-on experience. The one thing that got me, guys, was the testing. So I had the MBME, and this is just me being honest. I'm being 100% open, 100% honest, because I don't know where you are in life. I don't know, you know, whatever it may be. I believe in let's just be honest and see who it can help. So I struggled a lot with the final MBME. So I took that multiple times. When I say multiple, I lost count. That's how much I took it. So I did it the first time, didn't get the score I wanted, or didn't get the passing score, but I got a higher score enough for them to allow me to start my clinical rotations. So I said to myself, I said, okay, well, since I can go ahead and take start clinicals on here in Chicago, you know, with an actual physician, I started doing that. So I did my family medicine rotation. I think that was 6 weeks. Yeah, I think that was 6 weeks long. So I did that rotation and got that out the way. So I was like, okay, let me just keep going. So I did my psych rotation as well. Got that out the way. And then I said to myself, you know what? No, I need to pause and actually pass this final MBME. So sat down, you know, just barely working. Of course, you got to work to make ends meet. So for me, I had to work because, you know, I had bills and stuff I needed to take care of. So I would work maybe like one day a week, you know, 12-hour shift as a nurse, 1 day a week. I would work and then study the rest of the week, like the whole week. All I'm doing is studying, prepping for NBME. I took a NBME prep course. Like I took a prep course. I bought all the online access. I did practice NBMEs, whatever advice you can think of, I did. And I just kept getting the same score, like literally the same score over and over and over and over and over and over again. In all transparency, I think I took the final MBME probably more than 5 times. Literally, yeah. That's why I lost count. So I think I took it a little bit more. So I think at least more than 5 times. I paid thousands of dollars to take a prep course where I had to drive every day in the morning, stay hours, do the prep course, and I still got the same score. So I got to a point where I was just like, okay, what's going on? What's really going on, like people say. Because sometimes I'm the kind of person, when I hit a wall, I keep knocking until I push that wall down. But there comes a time when you need to be sensitive enough to know, okay, is this a wall worth knocking down? Is this a wall you really want to just keep knocking? So I paused in 2020. So 2020, I paused. I went ahead and just got a full-time job. I worked in the cardiac cath lab. And if you know, that's where you see a lot of the cardiologists. You get to work closely with a lot of cardiologists. So I worked as a nurse in the cardiac cath lab, and I wanted to be a cardiologist. That's what I wanted to do as a doctor. That was my focus. I knew cardiovascular is in my blood. That's what I did as a nurse. So when I got to work with a lot of cardiologists, I got exposed to the life. I got to ask questions, got to talk to them, got to kind of see, is this really what I want to do? Is being a doctor, is this what I want to do? Is being a cardiologist, is this what I want to do? And I'm going to be 100% honest, the more I talked, the more I watched them, the more I saw the life they lived. And this was just not 1 or 2 or 3 cardiologists, just kind of getting an idea. I realized that's not for me. That wasn't for me, right? So I realized that, maybe this medical school route isn't really what I want to do. So I sat down and I wrote, just kind of went through the reason. Why am I in medical school? Why did I enter medical school? What is the ultimate vision for this, right? And is medical school the only way to attaining this vision that I have? And so the answer for that was no, right? There was other ways that I could, and I just realized something in me, I have a strong business side in me, I love medicine, I love teaching, I love just educating people. I love, just taking care of people. I can talk to strangers. I love communicating with different patients. I love the change of settings often. I can't stay in the same place for a long time. I get kind of like, okay, no, let's move on. Let's change things around, stuff like that. So after much prayer, as you guys know, I believe in Jesus Christ fully. So after much prayer and just kind of seeking God's face, I was led to just gearing away from that. So I had a period of time where I was trying to discover what it was, and randomly, God just kind of dropped it in me to start my own healthcare staffing agency, guys. So as of last year, we started a healthcare staffing agency. So it's up and running. And what we do is we do temporary staffing. So we staff nurses, we staff healthcare professionals at different hospitals all over the US. So just one thing, the moral of this is, if this is what you want to do, keep pushing, right? But if you find yourself hitting a wall often and nothing changes every time you knock, you might want to step back and just kind of reanalyze, go back to the reason why you wanted to become a doctor and say, okay, is this still it? Is this still there? Is this still something I really want to go for? So that's pretty much it. That's what's going on now in my life. I am also a clinical instructor. So I work with a nursing school as a teacher. So I get to teach. So I get to do the things that I realized I was passionate about, which is teaching. I get to do that as well. And then I have that business aspect of me where managing a business. And I get to travel because I work for a medical device company. So that is just an update. I wanted to just pop in, guys, and do a brief update. Feel free, send me your questions and your comment. I will reply, I promise. I am more active. I have more time. I am not consumed by medical school studying and all that stuff. So feel free to ask me any questions you had about the island, any recommendations you think I should give you, or whatever questions you have, toss it in the comment section. And of course, feel free to subscribe. You will be getting more videos. My channel is going to be changed over to, I'm going to be doing a lot more teaching. On this channel. It's not going to be focused on medical school as much. I will make a video for those of you who are thinking about, okay, how was the transition as from a nurse to medical school to now being a business owner. So I will make a separate video on that. Also, tell me what you want to see a video on. That helps me a lot, because then I can just, create a video on what you ask. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, and remember, God bless you. God loves you. Never forget that you are wonderfully and fearfully made. Take care.